everybody. I'm just about to start editing this video, and for some reason I fancy doing a bit of an experiment with black and white. Don't know why, but I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to go with it. So, ooh, don't know why I'm doing that. I obviously can't see what it looks like. Yeah, so anyway, I thought I'd let you know because I've not done a black and white video before, so if you just started watching a black and white video randomly, then it wouldn't make much sense. But yeah, anyway, here it is. I think the sunglasses were a little bit optimistic, to be honest. Never mind. Anyway, welcome to a place called Angel Beach. This right here isn't Angel Beach. Angel Beach is down there. Not strictly a beach, I don't think, really, and I've never seen angels here, but you do see seals every so often. Not today, but I have seen seals here before. Great place to live if you're a seal, predominantly I think because there aren't any sharks here that I know of. I mean, what more can you want if you're a seal? Don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, and it's starting to rain. Good. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you'll know that it's one of my real aims in life to finish my videos where I start them. And it rarely happens, mostly down to mistakes by me, but sometimes down to the weather, which is what happened today. Never mind. Also, just a bit of a side note before I get started. A few eagle-eyed people have asked me in the comments about this sort of double dead cat thing that I've got going on with the microphone. Basically, it's quite a simple, boring problem, but you might have noticed that I've had issues with wind on my microphone in the past. The problem is that wind can get in the back of it. It's a bit of a design flaw of this particular mic, so it's all well and good having a dead cat here, but if wind can get in here then it's pointless. So what you need to do is get another dead cat and yeah, strap it on the back, and it works perfectly when you do that. One small problem is that part of the reason I bought this G85 is that it looks quite small and inconspicuous, and well, you strap this thing on and it's not anymore. Anyway, on the subject of the G85, I've had this sort of 3 or 4 months now. I've been using it a few times a week, and since I did my initial review, which I'll link somewhere, probably in the description because I know how to do that, I've come up with a few more thoughts, things I like and things I dislike, and I thought they were worth sharing as an additional onto that initial review. I'll start with something that I said in the initial review actually, to do with the microphone, that I think I need to take back. So I was kicking off about this microphone socket and how it was on this side, and that when you flip the screen out, you can't really see all the screen because the socket's in the way. And I was saying how I thought that was ridiculous. And somebody in the comments, can't remember exactly what they said, but it's something along the lines of, what would you do differently? And I thought about it, and I have no suggestions. I mean, you can't put it on the top because that would probably have issues with weatherproofing. You can't put it on this side because this is where your hand goes, and you can't really put it on the bottom because you'll mess with tripods and doors for batteries and things. So yeah, I take that back because I have no better ideas. But I have developed a couple of gripes, particularly with the interface of this camera. So for example, why is it that Panasonic, and actually most other camera manufacturers, they still all seem to think it's okay to only provide 3 bars of battery life indication? That just seems mad to me. Like, phones stopped doing that 15 years ago. And you know, if I pick up my camera and want to go out and it's got 2 bars of battery, that means that it could have like 65% or 35% battery life, which is quite a big deal. Like, if I've got 35% battery life, I might stay at home for another 20 minutes and make sure it's a bit more charged, or I might make sure I pick up another battery. If it's 65%, I'm not going to worry so much. So why can't they just tell you actually how much battery you've got? That doesn't seem like a complicated thing to me. Also, in a similar vein, this camera, as far as I can work out, refuses to tell me how much recording time I've got left on a particular card. So it'll only ever tell me that I've got 29 minutes and 59 seconds left, providing I've got that long. If I haven't got that long, then it'll show me how long I've got. But the most it'll ever show me is 29 minutes and 59 seconds. So I'm left thinking, well, do I have 3 hours left on a card or just half an hour? And again, that makes quite a big difference. It means I'm going to hunt around for other cards to take out if it's the latter. Again, surely that's not difficult to change. It shows me how many stills I've got left on the card, so why can't it show me how much video I've got left on the card? Weird. What else? Autofocus. I think on my initial review I was praising autofocus quite a lot. I was saying how lightning fast it was, and it is. It's super, super quick. Trouble is, when it does lock focus, particularly in continuous mode, it doesn't give you a sense of confidence. It kind of keeps hunting because it's not really sure that it is locked on. When it is, it's perfectly nailed the focus, but it'll keep looking anyway. It's a bit weird, and I think until they fix that, I'm going to be a bit uncomfortable with using continuous autofocus. And it's got to the point where now I'll use manual focus quite a lot, which isn't necessarily a problem because the focus peaking in this is awesome. But yeah, autofocus probably isn't as strong as I first thought it was. When I initially got the camera. It took me about 2 months to work out how to change the exposure while I was recording. It turns out you can't do it in any mode apart from the manual movie mode, and within that mode you have to choose which exposure setting you want. I would have thought that you could just choose that in all the different exposure modes set for stills, but for some reason they've chosen not to do that, which is odd. Another thing is that, well, I knew it when I got the camera to be honest, but it's been more frustrating than I thought it might be, only having 4K at 25 or 30 frames per second and not 50 or 60. It means you've got no slow motion options at all, and I shouldn't really mind about that because if you want that, you get the G85. They've got to kick some stuff off to get the price down, I guess, so yeah, scrap that. I'm not going to moan about that. The app is awesome. It's really, really good, really responsive. You can pretty much control the entire camera. You can change all the settings. So I'm recording the phone, which is recording the phone. I mean, yeah, I'm easily pleased. Yeah, it's great. Really, really useful. So the app gets a thumbs up. Stills are very impressive. I did a whole video about how the dynamic range can't match something like a D750, the camera that I shoot stills with primarily. But then again, you're not going to expect that from a camera like this. So again, that's probably an unfair comparison. But I've been very impressed with the stills. I would happily take this as a single camera to most shoots, to be honest. It's more than good enough, particularly with this lens, which I think I said in the initial test as well. This lens is incredible. It's not particularly quick, it's not particularly interesting, but it's very good at what it does. It's very sharp. Yeah, I love it. Great, great kit lens. They've come on leaps and bounds since Micro Four Thirds first came out. I remember when I got my first 1 or 2 Micro Four Thirds cameras, they came with little 14 to 42 electronic zoom kit lenses, and I mean, they were awful. This is great. Durability is very good. I've dropped this a number of times. And all the damage I've got to show for it is that this screen, when it's pressed in, is a bit wonky, and this back dial is a bit looser than it once was. But given how I've been treating it, I'll take that. It's pretty good. And last but not least, if I take this stupid microphone off, the eyepiece, which sounds like a bit of a stupid thing to talk about, but every camera I've ever owned has had eyepieces that just fall off willy-nilly. It's kind of a given expense that you have to replace them every month or two. And I just think if you've got like a £2 camera, or a £1 camera, or a £500 camera, or a £200 camera, it shouldn't just have bits that fall off it, to be honest. And with this one, the eyepiece isn't going anywhere because, I don't know if you can see, but it's screwed in, which I think is common sense, but this is the only camera I've ever seen it on. But it's nice just being able to carry it against your body and not having to worry that it's just going to drop off and you're going to have to go back to the camera store every other week. So that's pretty good. Yeah, so just some more thoughts on the G85. I mean, this is probably the last video I'll do where I'll mention this because I've done 2 or 3 where I've talked about it fairly extensively now, and I mean, it's just one camera, so I think it'll get a bit boring if I carry on any more than that. But yeah, if you've got one, let me know if you think I've missed anything, any thoughts, and other people can maybe have a read of the comments to see what other people have found with it. I really like it. I think the menus are awesome. I can't believe how light it is, and it does an excellent job on video. Bit disappointing with the autofocus. That's the same for all Micro Four Thirds cameras at the moment, I think. But overall, the quality of the stills and the video is amazing, and I'm really pleased I bought it. So yeah, hope that was useful. Again, I say this every time, but hopefully next time I'll be able to do an entire video outdoors if I can avoid the rain and the wind. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Sorry, one more thing that I forgot to mention in that video. That's enough black and white. This camera has a time-lapse mode, which I was really excited about and was one of the main reasons I went for the camera in the first place. And it works okay, but for some reason, regardless of the aspect ratio that you choose, it just always defaults to 4:3. So even when you turn it into an MP4, or the camera turns it into an MP4, which is a really useful feature, it's always just in 4:3 aspect ratio, as far as I can tell. If anyone knows how to fix that, or why it does that, please let me know, because it's really annoying, because it's a really good feature, but It just creates loads of unnecessary steps by not giving you an aspect ratio that you select. Anyway, I hope that video was useful or enjoyable. As I say, I'm not going to talk about this camera anymore because I've talked about it to death. But until the next time, when hopefully I'll be doing an entire video outside because the summer's nearly over and, well, I just feel like I haven't been outside at all this summer. Really? Why am I saying that? Why? That's not relevant. Anyway, waffling again. Bye.